Hello everybody. This week I feel the need to call this, instead of a good vibrations reading, which these always are, that's my intention, I really want to call it a soul deep dive this week. I'm really getting a sense from the energy in the air, the energy in the environments that I have been in recently, that there's a certain level of density and kind of an immense sadness. It's like it's so perfect that it's raining here today. It's like a wet blanket feeling. I feel a real sense of denseness in my own body that I can't quite put my finger on. It's just a sense of feeling uncomfortable, and there's nothing that I can point to that's different with my routine, but I feel like I'm picking up on the energies of the collective, of this humanity that we are all a part of. And I admit to not being a person that follows the news intently. I have never been a person to follow the news, so that's nothing new for me. However, of course, I'm aware of the events that have been taking place. And there's also been sadness in people's lives recently, in recent months, in recent weeks, in the past few days. And all of this is adding, all of us, there's a part of us that is picking up on this sadness. And so this week, my intention for you is always to lift you up, because your higher self never really feels down about you. They never really feel like you're getting it wrong. I say they, it's you. It's the expanded part of you. That part of you cheers you on when you are feeling your lowest. They're like, yes. This is going to give them the opportunity to figure out, what do you want? How do you want to move forward? And great sadness and a sense of density in our experience there's nothing like it to shift us into focusing on, okay, I really don't like how this feels, so how do I want to feel? It's a great pivot point for us to consider as we move forward. So we have 4 cards this week, so I want to get to it. Our Sabian symbol for this week is from Capricorn 19, a 5-year-old child carrying a bag filled with groceries. I get a real sense that this reading this week, the main message is about us stepping up, like when you ask a child, Johnny, could you go get that bag of groceries and bring it in? A 5-year-old. They might struggle a little, but they're going to really, at that age, they're going to attend to the task. So I really feel like we're being asked to rise to the occasion, to sit up straight, to take notice of what's going on around us, and to figure out, okay, I may not have an impact on the world scale, but I sure as heck have an impact in the environment that I am part of. Different environments, work, home, friends, family, social occasions. Those environments matter just as much as the world stage. What part of you are you bringing to that game? So the messages are going to speak to what is that part of us that is ready or wanting us to reach out and take a hand and step forward and carry in the groceries. This is about us as individual people, and I want you to start thinking about yourself as an individual ball, a sphere of energy. How are you taking care of that sphere of energy? Because very likely there may be a piece of you that is being affected by this sadness, by this sense of, for some it might feel like powerlessness or injustice. There's a great polarity, a duality, like an us and them being set up. And we don't necessarily need to take sides. What we need to do is pay attention to our wheelhouse, because all of those bubbles, our individual bubbles, contribute to the intensity of the vibration of this planet. That is why when many people get together in a room with the Dalai Lama, if you were to do an energy meter on that room, it would be off the charts, because people are in a space where they're hearing and taking on that energy and sharing that energy. Keep in mind, it can go in the other direction, and that's a little bit of what I'm feeling. I'm not an alarmist kind of a person, but I am a pull up your bootstraps and let's do this kind of person. Okay? I believe in you as an individual creator, and I want all of us to take responsibility for our individual zones. That big old energy field that we have control over. What are you thinking about? What are you focusing on? And can you bring more love and joy and acceptance, and not a sense of us and them, but an equality kind of a measure to your energy field? We need people to be stabilizing the energy here, not ramping it up in one direction or another. It's really not helping, because that's the same old, same old. I'm encouraging you to try to come to kind of an even keel place. Be that tent stake that helps to keep the corners of the tent at least here on Earth, so that we can get something done that's productive. So that's the energy of it. It's like we're just being asked to, all right, go get the bag of groceries and bring it in, and stop getting so wound up on picking a position. Also, this malachite, this is a tiny piece, but it is one of the most powerful crystals I have. When I connected with this crystal, what I heard was, be careful who you use this with. This is known to me as Auger. This is ripping off the bandaid. This is applying first aid to the wound, being very diligent in attending to it. Your own sphere of influence here. Attend to what you need to attend to. Bring love and healing and attention to it. And then things begin to heal. But you have to attend to it, and the medicine has to go on the wound. You can't just put a band-aid on it when it's all dirty and expect that something's going to miraculously happen. There is real life stuff going on here. There's real life sadness for people, and I am not denying that at all. However, there is a sense of stepping up to the plate and doing what we can in our own personal wheelhouse, as I call it, your sphere of influence, your energy field, to bring some sense of the light and evenness is the word I keep being shown. A sense of equality, and not adding to the ramped up energies in this direction or that direction, but to find a place that's a little more even keel, and keeping it personal for now. Okay? So these messages this week are about your role in this, and whatever you may be experiencing, trying to find that even keel place, while certainly taking action and doing what feels right to you. That's the first aid. I'm not saying to keep your mouth shut. I'm saying whatever your first aid is that you can bring to this, do that, but from a place of passionate love for the whole of this humanity, for the whole of your family, for the whole of people you work with, whatever groupings it is. We need that collective energy, the many bubbles, energy systems coming together in a more loving, earth-based. We are here on Earth, so we don't need to fly off into space. a more calm and collected and studious manner. I keep seeing the 5-year-old bringing in the bag of groceries. Mom says, please, Johnny, go out and get that bag of groceries. And the kiddo is struggling with it because it's filled up. But nevertheless, he grabs it anyway. There is a social responsibility about this week's message that feels very different than anything I've ever done before. But it's like he doesn't take the bag of groceries, and because it's too heavy, he starts flinging stuff out. He takes his job seriously, and he grabs it, and he holds it the best he can, and he keeps moving till he gets in the house. So it isn't about ducking away. It isn't about keeping your mouth shut. It's about doing what you feel led to do, that contributes. Think about that word contributes, okay, to the stability of this planet and the stability of our species and the stability of the groups that you are a part of. Friends, family, your own energy field, your individual energy field, okay? So the first card, I have some notes here about the crystals too. The first pairing is from the Flower Therapy deck by Doreen Virtue. And this is the Wisteria, which says time to decide. Additionally, we have this beautiful dark blue Andorra crystal. And I know this to be called sonar. This crystal is about finding your tribe. It's about putting your pinger. It's like when an airplane goes down and the pinger goes off. That's what this is. That's what I know this energy to be. The pinger's going off. And your tribe is finding you. And so you need to keep your ears open, those who picked this card. This is also, I have each, because the reason we have 4 cards this week is I was led to do one for each of the elements. So this, for you that picked this card, you are in the water element group this week. And that is about the emotional body. That is what your role is in this whole message. It's about really stepping up as that 5-year-old carrying the bag of groceries. It might feel really heavy emotionally. Okay? But what this is saying to me is that you're sending out the signal. If you can get your sphere of influence, your energy field in your personal alignment, if you can get to a place where you can stabilize and not get drowned by your emotions, your pinger is going to start going off. And what that means is people that are part of your tribe will come together. And whether you realize it or not, your energy fields are going to start working together. This can be in person. This can be from halfway across the world from you. I know people that I know are part of my tribe that live a very long way away from me. They are like on the other side of this planet. And of course, we have other energies that we work with too that are not of this planet, including your higher self energy that sits here, but it's also part of something else that's not earth-based. So this is all part of the collective of your tribe's energy coming together. And I know this is pretty esoteric messages this week, but for some reason this is wanting to come out. Your pinger's going to go off, you're attracting your tribe. Those energy fields together can make a big difference in what's going on for us as individuals in terms of sadness, really deep density in terms of your emotions, you who picked this card, and powerlessness, and also injustice. Those are the big themes that I was getting. So with time to decide, for you this week, it's time for you to decide if you're going to let your emotions drown you out, or if you're going to be the grown-up 5-year-old and go outside of your comfort zone maybe, and really begin to perhaps express when you feel passionate about something and you want to create a boundary and you're tired of your boundaries getting washed away literally because you just don't have the energy to attend to it. Your boundaries are yours to attend to. And that is the way we keep our energy field intact. Nobody else needs to be infiltrating your energy field. Instead, you are working together as a collective to bring about a stronger energy. It's many energy fields working together in tandem. It isn't that they're shooting arrows at each other. It's that they're so vibrant that together they just whoosh. It's like they raise the whole bar. Okay, so it's time for you to decide this week, am I indeed going to be, you know, a separate little piece out here withering in the storm by myself, or am I going to be part of this greater collective? Look at those flowers. This is your tribe. This is all of it. Look at the strength. And when there's one blossom sitting out on a branch by itself, it's not going to do so good in a big old rainstorm or thunderstorm, which is what many of us have been undergoing with the events that have been happening collectively and individually. Okay? This card does say, make a decision now so you can move forward. So this is about getting your energy field more intact from an emotional standpoint, okay? So that you can stand together with your tribe, those beings who share your type of energy. And believe me, you know who these people are. You do know them because you have some magnetism to them that you can't explain. Those are people that I call your tribe. And you may just meet them even once in your life and never see them again. But still, that energy collective is very important. Okay, so that's the water. Next we have the earth people. So, first of all, this is green calcite. Oops, green calcite, beautiful piece. And I love the name of this. It's called Sprout. I love that. And that, what I was getting from that is, this is about growing roots and not being afraid of challenge. What I was seeing is that really strong sprout that comes up through the ground when the tulips come up, when there's been frozen ground and it's one of the first ones, or daffodils, to come up after in the springtime, after we've had snow like here in the Northeast. Sprout is not afraid. Sprout is like, give it to me. Give it to me. Okay? And boy, does it ever go good with this card. Your card is from the Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides by Stephen Farmer. You get the boar. All right? This message is, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. This is the earth energy, remember. Earth energy is all about making a plan, taking action, stepping forward, not wilting away, not getting lost in your emotions, not getting lost in your thoughts. These people tend to be very much one foot in front of the other. And I'm going to keep going, and you're not going to stop me. Okay? So I'm getting your mission in all of this density, something to keep in mind if you want to have a focus to help everybody, as well as yourself or others who might be suffering, is that you really just need to step up like the boar and to be able to bring a confidence to your energy field. Again, we're always talking about that personal sphere of influence. You have a very strong energy field, and it is for people who are choosing these cards, this is a part of your elemental mix that is strong, I feel. So you have that strong earth energy. We're being called to use whatever we are strong in. So we need your grounding, okay? The collective needs you to be the courageous ones, to be the ones that are not afraid to lead us into a discussion about something, to talk to somebody about the fact that they have an addiction and you want to be able to help as a friend or a family member, to have a difficult discussion with a child when you see them continuing a behavior pattern and you know it needs to stop, and now. Because it's adding to, you're able to identify what's adding to the density that we're all experiencing, and to step up and say, I'm going to tell you my version of this because I'm a strong earth-based person and I love you enough to give you what I know to be the truth, and then you can discern for yourself how you want to move forward. But certainly in your own life as well, not just making comment about others, but your own life. Stand up and face what hurdles are in front of you, or what ones do you keep tripping over, and make a plan, and you are just going to sail over them next time. And that sense of courage in facing an issue, but also making a plan of how you're going to sail over it, that hurdle, next time it happens. Talk about an energy builder. That's just like zzz, going through your energy field, okay? And you're strong. That's what you contribute, is a sense of strong ability that the world, I feel, needs right now, okay? A groundedness and a courageousness to speak up when you see others hurting or when you're hurting. Even speaking up to yourself about, okay, this isn't okay anymore. I need to deal with this. All right? I love that message. Next up is the fire. Fire, fire, fire. So, you get one of my favorite crystals of all, known to me as Wild Freedom. This is my orange carnelian. And I think maybe we had this last week or in a recent reading. What I was getting from this Wild Freedom is about the fire energy, is about, it can be outspoken. Fire is very fun and flamboyant and kind of all out there. Very action-based, very much like Mars, the planet Mars, like action-oriented, but not quite as ducks in a row as the Earth energy is. It's a little bit more like, wow, it's spontaneous, you know, and these are the people we see as fun, but they can also get damn angry sometimes and kind of fly off the handle. So the Wild Freedom is about really stepping into a sense of wonder, joy, and belief, which I feel is core to who you are that chose this card. That fire energy of inner child. Okay, this particular stones totally relates to the inner child, that sacral chakra where the inner child lives. It's a sense of what if. What if? It's kind of dreaming big. All right, that's what's awesome about fire people. They're not afraid to dream about a future state that the rest of us are like, what? Because they can imagine it. They can really see that that could happen, but we have to take action, and we have to think differently, and we have to act differently. Particularly in the action realm, that's fire. So your card comes from the Healing with the Fairies deck by Doreen Virtue. And it is honoring your true feelings. Try to show you the image there. So we got a waterfall here. All right. And they're focusing on the feeling message. But I do notice in this card the roots that go down from the tree that she's sitting on. Can you see that? The root structure is very strong. So to me, those that picked this card, it's sort of like you're mixing many of the elements, because we've got earth here and she's sitting on earth, you know, she's in a grounded place. She's sitting on really the top of a tree that has broken off in the middle of a waterfall area There's rocks down below. And then you got this fire piece going on as well. So I do get the sense of really needing to, I really feel like you got to have your radar up, you that picked this card. You're going to be taking in a lot of information. And by the way, this is the card that my dowsing indicated for me. So I'm learning right along with you with this reading. It's about, it's that you might very well be feeling much like I do, where the bodysuit feels really heavy, or you just feel out of sorts, or you're not really getting along with someone, or whatever it may be. Things might just feel kind of off. And it's because you've got your sensors going out to all of those points: earth, air, water, and fire. Okay? You've got all of that going on. What you need is to get a focus, all right? Stay focused and keep moving ahead by what you are passionate about, all right? Because this honoring your true feelings, that's about really staying true to what matters to you and not getting muddled in all that's going on. There's a lot going on in this card, and I don't often read it like that when it comes up in a reading, but I am for this. Because you've got rushing water, you've got calm water up above. She's working like with a spider's web almost, and so she's doing something with it. Meanwhile, she's sitting on top of a tree that's broken off. That can't be very comfortable. The tree is got a root structure and rocks, but Lordy only knows how she's going to get down unless she flies, which is possible. And then you've got this wild freedom. Like, okay, well, I'm just going to go over here now and do this. And I get a real splintered sense. And the energy that you're picking up on it could be telling you that you are splintered. All right, you're just going off in many directions, and I'm not calling you out on it. I'm saying this is very natural when we have such an influx of energies that are here now and that we're soaking up from the whole of the collective. It can be a little hard to know how to go forward. But again, keep in mind that personal sphere of energy. You need to, it's in your best interest to stay focused and really hone in on what matters to you most. And don't be dragged off by what somebody else says is important. Or dare I say, even these world events. I'm not discounting them. I'm not saying they're not sad. It's just we each have a personal responsibility. The 5-year-old going to get the groceries. Mom said, could you go get the groceries? You have a personal responsibility on this planet to hold yourself steady for you, for the people in your house. And if you're drowning in what's going on in Texas or somewhere else, how can you help the people who are right in your own sphere? Because you're somewhere in Texas. And I know we need to send those people love and support, but we also need to give it to ourselves and to the people in our direct environment. So I do get a sense of a splintered energy field a little bit. Kind of like, you know, kind of not knowing which way to go because all the elements are kind of pulling at you. But just staying true to your beliefs, your sense of wonder, your what if. Okay? Allow that fire within you, your passionate response about things to guide what and how you focus your energy. Because perhaps it is easy to get off track by listening to all these other people. But you have your own inner wisdom, and that is your best guide of all. Okay? Alrighty. The last one we have is air. Okay, and this is amethyst. I have 3 different amethyst pieces. This is a beautiful generator. And I know this is called charging station for me. And this was about, the message I got from this piece for this reading was about getting clean with yourself and getting a flush of the divine energy, your divine energy, okay? It's really, I got caught on the many facets in this piece, and it was like really getting a blast of divine inspiration and remembering I am of the divine. And this is from my air team, as I call it. So this is about your thoughts, what you choose to think about, the brain space, and how you communicate. And just really taking charge of that for yourself to stay strong in your own divine source energy. All right, and know that you are of the divine, and things you feel led to look into or to try or to boost your own energy or spirit, please follow those, okay? Those will come. Intuition sits in this space, and it's very, it may be coming to you. You don't know why you feel led to look into something, but please trust it, is what I'm getting. Because those are shots of inspiration that are very important. Now that message goes really nicely with the card. This card is from The Way of the Horse deck by Linda Kohanov. And this is appropriate for us here in the Northeast. We've had some significant storms. The lightning horse comes up. What I was drawn to with this card is that number 10 at the top. And in numerology, that reduces, in numerology you always reduce to a single digit. So this goes down to a 1. This is about you, numero uno, uno, 1. This is about, new beginnings, new ways of seeing things. Never more do we have a fresh, clean slate. A flush, baby. Total divine flush. Getting clean with who you are. Than when we start all over again. And we experience this after significant tragedies or a series of them. People experience it all the time when they have sudden deaths. People experience it when they get a very serious diagnosis. All of a sudden it's like, shoo, the slate gets wiped clean. You really get clear on what matters and what you want to put your attention to. And this lightning horse, I love reading these descriptions because she does such a good job with it. So, lightning horse is flash of inspiration, glimpse of the next level, unmanifested possibility. As clouds obscure the moon and stars, a lightning horse illuminates the landscape and disappears into the night. The gift of this message is inspiration surges like an electric current through your body, flash hints of clarity to come. The challenge is when the imagination stirs, new ideas burst into consciousness, carrying tremendous energy. Yet these brief glimpses of potential can be hard to hang on to, taking significant effort and dedication to manifest. So you're going to need, those who picked this card, you're going to need to stay the course. All right? If you get some inspiration for your own life, again, I'm going to keep bringing it back. Personal sphere of energy, your own stinking wheelhouse that you're going to make not stinking anymore. All right? Cleaning up your own wheelhouse. It's time to get tidy. In your mind, this is the air suit. This is air team. Getting clear up here. All right? Allowing flashes of inspiration. Noticing the people who are coming into your experience. And you're having conversations out of nowhere. Or people that all of a sudden you're thinking about the same things. Or you keep dreaming about this person or that person. Or whatever it may be. You keep getting a signal. Or you keep seeing a certain person over and over who you normally don't. You keep getting similar messages or seeing certain animals. Intuition can come through any number of ways. Your team is always sending you support through intuitive messages and signs and signals. So, flushing out the mind really feels important. Getting clean with yourself, getting a flush going on. You might need to actually do a meditation where you picture almost a flushing of a toilet. I'm not kidding. As rude as that sounds. Flushing and just let it go. Or some people, what they do is they'll picture themselves, they'll do a meditation where they're packing up all of the stuff that they've been worrying about and crabbing about and getting anxiety over. They pack it all up in these big bags, big, huge, like duffel bags and bins, and they put it on a big float out in a river. Everything goes on there, and they shove it off. Down the river it goes, knowing that there is a huge waterfall down the way. All right, and that stuff is just going to get obliterated. And that's what you need, I feel, for those that chose this card, is that flush of the energy field. This crystal is so powerful because it's got so much dimension in it. And I love that it's got all this white in the bottom. And then the top is pretty vibrant purple. And that's what it feels like, is sort of from the bottom to the top, a total flush. And letting go of things that just don't really matter anymore. And notice, what am I putting my energy to and why? Really do an inventory for yourself. Why am I thinking about that anymore? Why am I worrying about that? It's definitely brain space for you. It's not emotional. This is about, what are you thinking about? What captures your thoughts most of the day? Or what do you keep getting magnetized to that causes anxiety or worry of some sort? Because that's the stuff that really needs to get flushed so that you can have some divine inspiration coming through, which is what we need. That's the 5-year-old with the bag of groceries. We need that service that you can bring, because you are people who are going to bring flashes of brilliance to future solutions that will help not only yourself in, again, your personal sphere of influence, but also your family, your friends, in your workplace. All of that matters. You don't have to be hobnobbing in Washington, D.C., here in the U.S., or, on the stage wherever there's some tragedy that could be half the world away from you. Your own house matters, and especially your own wheelhouse matters. So really step up this week. This is for everybody. Step up this week and consider taking your part of this message to heart. We probably all have a piece of all of these because we're made up of all the elementals, but your specific portion seems to be coming up as being particularly strong, because together, when we face those parts of us, it is that 5-year-old that's eager to help. There's something within you that is eager to help any level of suffering that is going on within this humanity. You're eager to do it, but we have to be charged up as individuals in order to do so most effectively. We always can help, and we can always be useful in our missions. However, we can really bring it if we pay attention to that sphere of influence that is our very own, and charge it up according to what our unique abilities are. So there we go. Long, in-depth message this week, and a little different, but for some reason this wanted to come through on this rainy day, which just feels perfect. It's kind of a solemn time, and I honor that for all of us, and certainly anybody who's suffering at this time. My heart goes out to you, and we're all pulling for each other, no matter where each of us lives. So with all respect and gratitude for each of you, thank you. I will see you next week.